So this Nintendo product should not exist, but I'm actually glad that it does. This is from China. Yeah, I've been covering a lot of stuff I've been getting off of AliExpress lately. I had a little moment of like looking through all sorts of stuff and just buying things that looked interesting. So yeah, we're gonna cover the stuff that I bought. But this right here, it looks like a Nintendo DS, and it is a Nintendo DS. But this is the Nintendo DSML. DSML? What the hell does ML mean? Medium light? Mega light? I don't know. But this is not like something Nintendo released. This is something China did. And we can complain about stuff that China does all the time. You know, there's lots of examples. But this right here is really cool that they're doing this. So this is not a DS Lite, but this is an original Fat Boy DS, the original that came out, reshelled to look like a DS Lite, but it's a little beefier. And it works just the way it should. We even have a stylus. Where the hell's the stylus? I don't remember where the stylus is on DS. Oh, it's up here. I was used to the 3DS different location, but we got a stylus there. I paid, okay, I know people will be like, oh, you could just buy a DS for so much money. Yeah, you can, they're cheap, they're reasonable. This, I paid $37 for it. It didn't come with, they actually have boxes that have all the logos and stuff on it. And I noticed they charge a bit more for that. I didn't care about the box, so I just got this one out of the box. It was like 37 bucks. But let's check it out real quick. So I know some people don't realize it or don't remember, but you cannot hot swap cartridges. Like this takes, you can play Game Boy Advance. I have Game Boy EverDrive, and it should work fine on here, but you can't hot swap. Not with the original DS line. So you have to have your cartridge plugged in before you start. I also have this, the newest DS flash cart, the Easy Flash Parallel, which is really cool. It's a nice flash cart. No time bomb, nothing like that. Very easy to use, but I've noticed, I don't know if it's just this one that I got, but I've popped it into this system and my 2DS that I have, my 3DS, and this cart does not want to pop back out. Like it's very difficult to get out, especially on this unit. It kind of gets stuck in there. So we'll check it out in a second, but I'll show you. And it's not because of this housing, it's just, it doesn't want to come out. I see it doesn't want to spring back out. I got to pry it out and it freaking sucks. But regardless, let's check this out. So powering on, obvious with the original DS, the screens are not gonna look as nice, but I remember having the original DS and being mostly fine with the screen, but it is a little bit dimmer. Yeah, brightness for the DS is, the original DS is just off, pretty much off and on, and that's it. This hinge feels okay, but it does have a little slack there. All the buttons, everything else feel fine. But let me show you. So we can go to Game Boy Advance. And it will boot up my flash cart. There we go. But I really do like this idea of taking old obsolete tech and kind of making some improvements to it, in the sense that like a lot of those got beat up. Maybe this form factor is more comfortable to people. But I think it's cool to take, the DS that people really don't want it anymore and, reshell it and kind of refurbish everything. I think that's really cool. So yeah, Game Boy Advance running just fine with the EverDrive. You can put normal Game Boy Advance carts in here as well. But there we go. Just, the screen's not crazy bright, but it's bright enough, man. It ain't like the old school Game Boy where you couldn't see anything. But there's that. Now we got to power off. We want to switch anything, so let's do that. Like if you have this on and you try to hot swap Game Boy Advance, it might freeze the system. I've heard of that happening. I haven't had that happen, but it just won't recognize the cart. Like right now, if I try to plug in another game. So let's take, for example, Mario 3. It's not going to recognize it. You have to have the cart in before you power on the system. There's no game pack inserted. See? But if we insert it, see, it still says no game pack. Power off, power back on. And yeah, start Game Boy Advance game. But let's go to this easy flash parallel that I like, but I hate that it just is a pain in the ass to eject. Let's check that out real quick. I've only added a handful of games to this thing, but I'll put links to these if you're interested in, in picking anything like this up. I mean, normal DS Lites you can get for a reasonable price. I thought this was neat, so I wanted to go for it. Man, Mario Hoops, freaking a 3-on-3. I don't know why it says Hoops Son, but yeah. Super Mario DS. Let's jump into new Super Mario. Okay, here we go. So, I mean, you could see the screens here, like, yeah, they're not the best looking, but they're good enough, man. I'm just kind of like into this handheld craze again. DS and 3DS, like, sure, I've emulated that stuff, and that's a great option for plenty of people. I love emulation. You guys should know that by now. I love all different options. Emulation is free, so it's the cheapest option. But when it comes to stuff with like touch screen and dual screens, like, I kind of like the original hardware, so that's why I wanted to jump back into the. Sure, I have a 3DS, I have a 2DS, multiple 2DSs. I really have no reason for an original DS, but I still thought it was kind of neat to have. Just kind of, relive those times. Oh crap, am I gonna fall in the hole? Oh shit, yeah, I did. But okay, let's turn this off. Power back on. I have no dead pixels or any weirdness going on with this screen. Let's go to Game Boy Advance now. The game, that Super Mario 3 that I put in, was one of those bootlegs that I got for like $3 or $4. And it's gonna run just fine on here as well. There we go. Picking up my save. Save file still works on this thing. Auto-scrolling levels. I always hated them, man. I'm like impatient with this crap. But yeah, really cool handheld. The overall build quality seems very nice, in my opinion. Way better than like a lot of the 3D printed stuff you see out there. A lot of times you'll see like the DS Game Boy Advance, like single screens, that kind of thing, top screen removed or whatever. How they're repurposing DSs for that. But this, I think, is really neat. I mean, it looks the part, looks like something Nintendo could have released, but, made in China. The DSML. Very cool. Everything feels fine. All the same functionality because it is a real DS. So I just wanted to share this with you. I think it's cool. I've been messing around with it a little bit here and there. This Easy Flash Parallel I've been messing around with too, and it's disappointing that it gets stuck. Like, oh wow, it popped out that time, but it's still kind of like a bitch, dude. Oh, now it's working. It just had to get worked in. Maybe the edges needed to get a little, but you could still see it's not like perfect, but I could feel it's tight. It feels tight. And it was doing the same thing on my 2DS and 3DS. And see, we like messed everything up by hot swapping, popping it in and out type of thing. Let me see. Plug it in. See, it reset the system. You can't be doing that. Technology has progressed quite a bit since the DS came out. But there you go. Yeah, okay, now I'm a little happier with the Easy Flash Parallel, but I just share my actual experiences, and for the past couple days, this thing was getting stuck in everything I was putting it in. And this, I would have to use like tools to pry it out, hoping not to scuff it all up. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. If you're interested, links down below. Thanks for watching. Big ass blurry thumb butt like a Bigfoot. Bye.